Hello everyone, very good morning. You are watching my YouTube channel CloudX India. So guys, in CloudX India, I am uploading video related to AWS Cloud, Azure Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and also on-premises AD and VMware. So this is the second day for AWS storage FSx, Amazon FSx. Okay, in first video I talked what is Amazon FSx. We discuss about every part of Amazon FSx types, benefit, okay, use cases. And in today's topic, I'm going to cover the practical part. So let's not wait, guys. And also, guys, if you did not subscribe my channel till now, please do subscribe, like it, share with your friend. Okay, so let's not wait. Go and start the practical part. So for this, what is the basic requirement? You have two way. Either you directly use it without like a DFS. So I am configuring the DFS as well. Okay. So I have deployed two virtual machine here. One is Windows Server, which I use to integrate my FSX, and other one is the client system. Okay, Windows client system from where I'll access the my Amazon FSX. Okay, so just open the console. In next button, I have opened the Amazon FSX console. So first of all, what you have to do, so you have to click on create file system, and in the file system you can see there are two options available. One is Amazon FSX for Windows file server, and other one is the Lustre. So I'm not going to use Lustre because it require the data hungry applications like analyticals applications. So let's see how to configure Amazon FSX for file server. Click on next button. So once you click on next button, it require a name. So I'll say CI file server. Okay, I mentioned the CI CloudX file server. So multi-AZ, don't use multi-AZ, otherwise it increase the cost. If you are going to implement in your organization, definitely use it. So you have to allocate the storage. So minimum storage allocation is 32 GB. If I give less than 32 GB, it give me error. Okay, so the minimum requirement is 32 GB, and maximum you can use till this. And then a recommended through output capacity, so do not change anything since we are going to do the demonstration. Select your VPC where you are going to deploy it, and then a security group you have to select. So I have selected the default security group, or other one I have options to cloud baseline I'm selecting. And then select your subnet where you are going to deploy it. So I'll select subnet. Okay, which subnet? I'll select the subnet A. And then the next one is Windows authentication. How do you want to do the authentication part? Okay, so you have two options. Either you use AWS Managed Active Directory or yourself. So since I have deployed one domain controller here, so I'll use self self-managed Active Directory. So what is the fully qualified domain name of your Active Directory? So this is my directory server. So I have given name cloudxindia.local. So use cloudxindia.local. Make sure name is correct, cloudxindia.local. You have to provide the IP address. So what is the IP address? I can copy from here as well. So the IP of it. So since I have deployed the DC and DNS on this server, so I'll use DNS IP address of my domain controller. And then you have to provide a service account which you use to integrate or right okay, integrate this with your domain. Okay, so use or run the file services in backend server as well. So I have given a name here. I use service account I have created. You have to create a user which is known as service account if you are using a user for the services. So this is known as service account. So I use CI FSX. So you have to use, you do not need to give the prefix like cloudx india slash f6, and then provide a password. and then confirm the password. And organizational unit, if you want to, where you want to locate it, right? So once it join into the domain, where do you want to move directly? So if you put the organizational unit here, so it directly goes into this. So if you want to do this, so you can copy the organizational unit distinguished name from OU property. So you have to go into the OU, click on attribute, and click on distinguished name here, view, and copy it, and go and paste it here. This is a case sensitive, so make sure you are using OU in capital if you're writing it manually. And other one, delegate file server system administration. If you have any group, you want to delegate those group to manage the file system, you can use it. So I do not have any group, you can create. This is optional, so I'm leaving it as of now. And this is a default encryption, so don't change anything, just use as it is. And click on next. And if you see the options here, so you can read each and every options whatever you have selected. Okay, so click on create. It takes some time to create it, so till the time it's creating, let's do one thing. Let's configure the DFS. So for the DFS configuration, what you have to do, you have to install the DFS first. How to install the DFS? You have to go on your server manager. Okay. In the server manager, you have to select your add rules and features. So I have already installed it, and this is a very simple process, but I'll tell how to do this. Okay, so click on add roles and features, then click on next, select your system, and select your file and storage, then click on file and iSCSI services and select this one, DFS namespace. And once you select this one, then click on next and install. That's it. It's a very simple process. And then what you have to do, once you install the DFS, then you have to open the DFS management. From where will you open it? Go in Windows administrative tools. Okay, and you can open DFS management from here. Okay, so click here. So once you install and open it, so it looks like this. So what you have to do, you have to click on the namespace first. As I said, you have to create a namespace, virtual virtual share name, right? Which will be used to organize your different file server, like NAS file server. If you have more than one file server and you want to provide access to the end user, so there are two options. Either you give the share the IP address to end user of each file server, or you can organize all file server to individual one place on your DFS. So I'm going to do that. So for that, what you have to do, click on the namespace, create a new namespace, assign a name. Or okay, so first of all, select the server where you are going to configure the namespace. So I'll select the server, I'll click on advanced, and I'll use this server domain controller for this. So I'll use the DC. You can create it on different member server as well, but I'm going to use this one since I'm using the AWS virtual machine. So I'm not going to utilize multiple. So I'll give a name global share, or let me give a name like this, global share, and click on edit. You have to allow the permissions, so go on the custom and give the full access. Okay, give the full access and click on OK. Next. So there are two options: domain based namespace, like how do you want to access DFS. If you want to use domain based, what happens? So you have to use cloudx india dot local slash global share, and other one is standalone. In standalone, you have to use your NetBIOS name, like your system's name. So I'm going use to CloudX India, like domain based namespace. Click on next, see the view, like whatever the options you have selected, what happened. So it is in this like display, you can see local path. So what happens, so once it create the DFS, it create a folder in your local file system into the C drive here. Okay, and it give a name. So DFS root and global share. So you can see there is no DFS root as of now, but once I click on create, what happened, it create a folder in backend. So let's go back again and see. So it created a folder here. So it create the folder and then a file server, but here nothing is there. Okay, so this is namespace we have created. Now what we have to do next, so as I said, we have to create a new folder. So once you click on new folder, right, so you have to specify the name and then point it to the NAS or your Amazon FSX. So for that we have to see whether my Amazon FSX is ready or not. It is still creating, so we have to wait for it, since it's deploying a Windows server in backend. As I said, it's a Windows managed. uh, so guys, it's available now. So you can see okay, so the file system name, CI file server, what name I have assigned, file system ID, file system type is Windows, status is available, deployment type single ACs, right? So in detail, if you want to see, you can click here and go in properties and you can see all the options available. Okay, and if you want to update the DNS, you can click here, or service account name, you can click here and update it. Okay, and this next option is the monitoring. For the monitoring point of view, if you want to monitor it, so you can go here and monitor. So it's taking time. And then alarm, maintenance, backup. So everything in the backup console here as well, you can see it's automatically take a backup, right? It's a creating. So let it create, and we'll go and see how to access this file server or Amazon FSX. Okay, so here go first of all in your Active Directory and see whether it's available or not. Okay, great. So this is one of the file server is available. Okay, okay, this is the computer, right? So it has given a unique name to it, right? So Amazon FSX, right? So in the backend, it's creating some system, right, and assigning a name. So that is the actual name what Amazon is managing in backend as a Windows server. So you can say computer's name, right? It is the name it is assigned to this, and DNS name what we have assigned to it. So why it is using not this name and this name? So in backend, actually there are lots of customer are using the Amazon FSX, right? So to avoid the duplicacy, right, so it's using a different name, right? And also if DNS is like you can assign a name like more than 15 character, right? But the computer, Windows server is having the 15 character name as a net BIOS, right? So that is the one of another things. And see what operating system it is used here. So if you go and click operating system, you can see the types. It's a 2016 data center, and the member of, you can see domain computer. It looks like same as your Windows server. Okay, and managed by, nothing is here. Okay, so guys, this is created here. So let's copy the name. This name we have to access from this name, not with this name. So copy this name and open a computer management. I already opened it here. Click here and connect to another computer and paste name. So we are connected with Amazon FSX here. So in Amazon FSX, click on System Tool. First, see what options are there. Connecting, please wait. Okay, it's taking time to connect. Okay, what is error? Cannot be connected, verified the network path is correct. Okay, okay. So, oof. All right, it's connected. So in the share folder, you can see how many shares are there. So it has D drive as its admin shared. Okay, and there are some other shares as well. So in the same way, it's available on your local system, right? So you can create your own share as well. So what you have to do, you have to click on share, click new share, and use a share name like as I say, let's take an example, US. Okay, so I use, okay, what happened? So type a valid path. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to select my D drive, click here, and then I give a name US. Okay, it's saying file system cannot specify path. Do you want to create? Because we don't have it. So I said yes. Name it has given US, and access, what access you want to give the full access, finish it. So it created a new file system, name it US. So why it was giving error before, so I'll show you. So we are creating it under the D drive, right? So let me create one more, and so what was the error, like warning message. So suppose I'm going to create another one, and I'll give the name India. So what you have to select the path where you want to create it. So once you click on browse, so it show the drive later. So I selected the D drive, and then you have to select the name IN India. And when you are going to move on next, so it's saying a file system cannot find the specified path. So you can see there is no such folder available. Okay, so what you can do, once you click on yes, so what happen, it will create a folder here. So there are two way, either you create first folder and then share it, like for this China I'll do that one, or you can create a direct share from here and folder as well inside this. So other options is you can do one thing, you can create a folder here, name it CN, and then share this CN is not shared yet. So what you have to do, you have to click here, click on new shares, and then go next, browse, click on D drive, and click on CN, use it, next, CN. This time it didn't give the error because the folder already available, and previously folder was not available. It was saying you are going to share a folder, but it shares folder are not available, right? So it create a folder and share it. So I said yes. So see guys, so I have created these three folders, right? CN, IN, US. So suppose you want to provide this access to individual users. What you have to do, you have to provide this file system path, sorry, file system name or server name to the end user. So what end user will do, end user has to access it manually. Suppose I'm going on the client system, my other system here, where I have logged in as a domain user usr1. So I can access it from anywhere and use the folder. This is the one of the way. Okay, so it is saying access issue, I'll fix that one. So this is one of the way to access it individually. Suppose you have the multiple FSX, right? So what you have to do, you have to provide this name, like this name to of multiple Amazon FSX. If you have created multiple Amazon FSX for your different purpose, right, or different locations, so you have to provide this mm, like multiple names to end user. Like suppose you have so many Amazon FSX, so you have to provide each name to the end user, right? So there may be a different name, so I am repeating it, so it name will be different, right? So it will be very tough to manage the like or remember the name for each users. Okay, so what is the other solution is, so you can create a DFS and map all these to the DFS server. So I'll go and do this. So before doing this, so I have to fix the permission. As you can see, right? So once I access CN, so it's giving the error. You do not have permission. So how can you fix it? So for this, what you have to do, you have to go in your this server's D drive, which is local drive, and where this folder are created. Go into the properties of it and go into the security and add domain user. Okay, add domain users because domain users is not allowed here. So you have to give full access if you want to give read write permission. In the same way, you have to do for the CN and IN as well. So you have to click here, click on domain users. So I'm why I am giving the domain users access, because every user whosoever you are creating inside this domain is part of domain users. So it's a good to give a access to individual users. So in the better way, if you want to ask, so I suggest to create a user group, okay, and give access to that individual group, not domain users, because giving domain user access will allow every users inside the directory, right, to read, write, and whatever the permission you have assigned. So what you have to do in a better and like organized way, you have to create a group and join this user into that particular group and give the permission to the group, not domain user here, because every users whosoever user you are creating, that is by default part of the domain user. If I go in member of and show you domain users, any users, if you are clicking and see, right, so it's a part of domain users. Anyway, I have given the access to domain user for your practical, and now let's go and see on the client, and okay, it's able to access now. So what is other ways if you want to integrate or add target to the DFS of these folders, what you can do? So go in your global shares namespace, click here and click on new folder and give a name like IN, add a target, browse what is the target here. So what you have to do, you have to click here and mention IN, this is your target, and click on OK. So it create one target, and then what happened, what you have to do, you have to click on this one again, name it CN, and share folder name, and in the same way you have to do for US as well. So here I'm using the single DFS server, sorry, FSX server for target, but in real environment, right? So suppose you have created multiple Amazon FSX server, right? So or okay, so you want to integrate all those to a single DFS. So you want to organize all individual file server to a single DFS, right? So you can use this way or this mechanism to do this. Okay, so so now you can see there are three logical folders are available, which is pointing to this Amazon FSX. You can see here. So in every folder, when you click, it's pointing to any of this, like Amazon FSX IN, and it's pointing to this one. So what happened? So if I go into the users property, there are other way I cannot access this Amazon FSX name. I have other way. I can access cloud x India dot local slash. Okay, so name, maybe there is some mistake in the name. So I'll copy the name from here. Okay, so what I have to do, okay, it's available now. So click here, and now you can see there are two way, right? So either you access it individually, so every time suppose you have multiple Amazon FSX, so you have to access it individually, or you can use DFS. Okay, link all different files shares in a single organized way, and then you have to access your global DFS server, and then you will see all logical like other shortcut is available which is targeting to a different server. So once you click here CN, so in the backend I have access directly, and here I'm accessing from the uh, DFS, right? So if I create any folder here, what happens? So you can see, right? So if you see the path, this is cloudx india.local global share CN, and here it is a Amazon, the name whatever the name Amazon is provided. Okay, so that is there are two way, right? So it's up to you how do you want to use it, but in organization definitely you have to follow this standard. Okay, so guys, that's all for Amazon FSX. Okay, you can do this practical, and I hope you enjoy the video. Please if you enjoy this video, please do not forget to subscribe and share with your friend and enjoy this. Thanks guys, thanks for watching this video.